And Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to start our very first lesson for statistics, and we will be dealing about its basic introduction and then the most common definitions or the words that are used in statistics, right? So why we study statistics? Statistics is a subject that has some relevance to each of the subject, because if you want to pursue your PhD, then obviously in your research program you have to go for the statistical analysis tools, understanding of which is not possible without understanding or getting an idea that what statistics is, because you will be dealing with the population, a sample, and you will be dealing with descriptive data or variables. You will be dealing with their dependency and knowing that how much one is affected by the other, what is the significance. So in that case you need to know that what does these term means and how you can use it to get your desired results. So the very first chapter that is related to collection and tabulation of data is the first chapter of statistics, and we will be dealing with it now. So first of all, what is statistics? I will be saying merely that it is a science of collecting, right? When you collect the data, then displaying it, right, in the form of different graphs and tables, these things, charts, and then you analyze it, right? So this is called statistics. Basically, statistics is a branch of mathematics, and that is concerned with the collection, right, analysis and analysis, specifically, right, with the collection and analysis of data with the aim of improving results of the real world. Like displaying is also included in this one. So we can divide statistics then into two main broad categories, and that can be, it's, you can say it's branches, or division is in descriptive statistics, or you can say the second one is inferential statistics, right? So descriptive statistics is concerned with describing numbers about situations in the present or the past. That will completely describe the situation of a statistics in numerical form, exact to the point, right? While the inferential statistics is basically related with, like, you draw the conclusion, it draws the conclusion from the observed numbers, right, and it make inferences mostly from population, right, from which the data is collected, and it can make the, you can say about, it can future trends, it can tell you about forecast. Yeah, the exact word for that should be, it can even the forecast. Basically, you know, the changes in the exchange rates and these all things are somewhat related to statistics, right? Financial market things is also related to statistics. So inferential statistics is built on the foundation of descriptive statistics. This chapter is about, basically we are studying with descriptive statistics. Now we will study that what is data and what is information, right? Data is a term that refers to the facts. It must be turned into information in order to make it more useful. Otherwise, data in itself is basically based on facts. Information is derived from the facts. Yani ke means that you will say that information is formed from data, or data makes the information when it comes in refined form. When you process the data, right, when you structure the data, and when you analyze the data, then it becomes the information. And the qualities for the good information, the qualities for good information should be that it should be complete, right? It should be relevant, it should be reliable, it should be understandable, it should be timely, and okay, it should be as much detailed as required, and it should be communicated to right person. Suppose I want to study about a company and I want to invest in that company. So what I need a complete set of financial statements, their complete detail about the profit and loss, right? Suppose what are their assets, how much assets do they own, what are their liabilities, which can I get from balance sheet. So the complete set of 5 major parts of a financial statements, if they are all present, then it is complete. I want to invest in 2020, right? Suppose in this year, and if it is of 2020, then it is relevant. If it is a public company in which I want to invest, it is properly signed, right? And all the management have taken their proper responsibility, then it means it is reliable, right? And understandable means they should not be using very hard and tough language, like not the jargons that are not understandable by me. So it should be in simple words, so it's understandable, in timely manner. Whenever I require it, it should be provided to me, and the detail which I need for that, it should be present there. So in that way, and in this way, like we can say that the information is good, is a good information. So the types, there are different types of the data, right? So we will start with it. Basically the data consists of, like you can say that there are number of observations, 2, 3, 8, 10, or you can say there are different variables that are used, like we might be using weight, we might be using heights, any data, right? Any value we can use. If we are using exact these numbers, then they are called constants, right? But if we are using some variable like x, y, z to represent these weights, heights, and these things, they are called variables. Variable means a characteristics that assume different values for different entities. For example, the x value for the weight will be, suppose it is 70, and this same x value for height will be different. Suppose it's 160, right? So x is changing its value with the passage of time, like with every observation it is changing, so it is a variable, right? So we have done about what is variable and constant. So let's move. Now we are going to study that what a qualitative variable is and what a quantitative variable is, right? Quantitative variable, from the name indicates that those they will be those variables that include a quantity, means some numerical value. For example, if you say that you travel from London to Paris, how much time you take? If you exactly tell that time, how much time you take to reach there, maybe 5 hours, maybe 8 hours, so it means that it is a quantitative variable. Or if I ask you the height of a person or a student and you exactly tell that what is that, so it means that the data is in numerical form or is in numerical value and is a quantitative data, right? While the qualitative data basically deals with attributes, qualities, right? qualitative data. It deals with attributes, and it is that data that basically deal with non-numerical values. For example, I say what is eye color, you can't give it a number. If I say about favorite clothes, you can't give it a number. So how to deal with the data that is qualitative? It becomes a problem. And even when the data is quantitative, still it has two types, right? The quantitative data has quantitative data types. One is I remember now, discrete data, and the second one is continuous data. Keeping it very simple, discrete data is exact values: 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, etc., etc. Like the number of units produced, the number of defects in a production batch, and the number of attendees to a web broadcast increased by 1% at a time. So a fraction of a person cannot attend the broadcast, and so cannot be a part of the data. Like we can say every individual, 10 individuals are attending the web broadcast or these. So it means that will be obviously 10. We can't say 10 and half, right? While the continuous data, it take ranges, right? For example, if you say what is the temperature of your body right now, and you say it's that much, 36.5, right? Or if I ask you that the physical dimensions, like I ask about the height or weight, or these, you'd say your weight is 70.1 kg. This 0.1 kg, what is that? It will not come in discrete data, it will be continuous data. And then there are 2-3 more terms that are basically used in statistics. That's called primary data and secondary data. Primary data is the data that you collect directly from the source, right? For example, I go and I have a questionnaire with different people, asking them about the questions that I have for my research project. It's called primary data. And when I process the primary data, I investigate it and take results from it. It's called secondary data, right? For example, a person goes and he asks different people about what are their views, and do they drink alcohol and still they get good marks, like this, right? So in that way, when he is getting the result, he's getting the primary data. While when he comes and he process it, or someone else process his collected data to get the results, so it is in that form secondary data. Okay, so now moving to the other 2-3 terms that are commonly used. Raw data is the data that results of sampling inquiries or census, right? While the aggregated data is the one that we get of the classification and summation, right? The data in its original form is your raw data, and aggregated data means when you get the things in some of form, in classified form, it's your aggregated data. And population and sample, a very common terminology used in statistics. So population means the data resulting from investigating every member of a population, right? Population, basically you can say that population can be any specific group, right? Group of people. For example, you want to know that how many Asians are living in Britain, so that full Asian people will be a population. And if you take from that Asian population in Britain, you want to take how much Indians are or how much Pakistanis are, so that will be a sampler. When you choose from the population, and like where a large population is involved, only a selection is chosen by random selection to be investigated, it's called a sample, right? So it will be a sample. We can, as I told you, that we can collect the data through different means, like we can go and ask about the by directly communicating with them in the form of questionnaire. We can get directly observe them. We can have a telephone interview with people to collect our data, or we can personally interview them, but it is very expensive and need a properly skilled interviewer. If we are doing a national census, then still the participation might be a legal requirement, but it generates a huge volume of data which can take a long time to process, right? So sampling is means that data is often collected by sampling a population with the object of drawing conclusions about the population from the sample. We can't go and we can't interview every person. We can't take data from each of the population member. So what we do, we on generalized basis make a sample and then start working towards that. Okay, that was all. Now please watch my second lecture for understanding in more detail.